Welcome to the Career Pathway Channel, guiding nurses on the pathway to success.
Hello, great nurses. Welcome to the Career Pathway Channel, where we guide nurses on their way to success. In our previous modules, we looked at various aspects of communication in English. We've looked at Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4, and this is the 5th module. So in this module, we'll be looking at understanding the meaning and scope of a library. Now we have our priority circles as always, so don't forget to know this. And we have specific objectives for this particular module. The first one is to describe a library. Then the second is to explain the role of a library in teaching, learning, and research. And the third one is to state the various kinds of library stock. The fourth one is to identify the different sections of a typical library. And the fifth is to explain the different types of libraries. Objective 1, which is describing a library. Now, the word library signifies a collection of resources and materials typically organized for use by individuals or groups for reading, research, and study. It provides access to a range of information, whether in physical or digital formats, including books, journals, magazines, and other media. Now let's move on to the definition of a library. When we say library, what do we mean? A library is a place where various informational materials are stored and made available for reading, research, and educational purposes. Alright, so libraries can be public, academic, or special, and they are often designed to support the learning and research needs of individuals. And there are key features of a library you need to know. So it's a quiet space for study and research. So you usually don't hear loud noises in the libraries. All right, so we have the next one, which is organized collections of books, journals, articles, and digital resources. Then access to computers and internet for research and learning too is one of the key features of a library. Now we move on to the second objective, which is to explain the role of a library in teaching, learning, and research. Libraries play a critical role in the educational process, aiding in teaching, learning, and research by supporting learning, enhancing research, facilitating teaching, promoting self. Now, in supporting learning, libraries provide a wealth of resources such as textbooks, reference materials, and digital media that support classroom learning and homework. Then, in enhancing research, libraries provide access to specialized databases, journals, and academic papers that are essential for research projects, dissertations, and thesis writing. Then, facilitating teaching. Educators rely on libraries for instructional resources, teaching materials, and research publications to enhance their teaching practices. And the next one we have is self-study. Libraries offer a quiet and conducive environment for independent study and self-learning, which is crucial for academic success. Example, a student working on a nursing research project may use the library to access medical journals, clinical guides, and online databases like PubMed to support their work. Alright, so we'll move on to the third objective, which is kinds of library stock. Library stock refers to the types of materials available in the library for use by its members. Common types of library stock include books, journal, magazine, newspaper, audiovisual material, e-resources. Now let's look at each of them one after the other. Books. These are printed or electronic materials including textbooks, novels, reference books, and encyclopedias. Then we have journals. These are academic, professional, or scientific periodicals published regularly, e.g., weekly, monthly, or quarterly. Then we have magazines. These are popular periodicals containing articles on current events, trends, and general interest topics. Then we have newspapers. These are daily or weekly publications that provide current news and information on various topics. Then we have audiovisual materials, items such as DVDs, CDs, audio tapes, and videos that supplement educational materials. Then e-resources have electronic books, e-journals, online databases, and other digital resources. Now, there are key types of library stock. We have reference materials. This includes dictionaries, encyclopedias, directories, and other materials for quick information retrieval. Then we have special collections. These are rare or unique materials like manuscripts, archives, or historical records. Then we have this fourth objective, which is identifying the different sections of a typical library. Now, different sections of a typical library is divided into several sections to help organize the materials and provide efficient service to users. Some of the sections include the first, circulation section, reference section, periodical section, stacks or bookshelves. We have computer section, study rooms, special collections, or archives. We'll take them one after the other. Circular section, this is the area where library materials are checked out or returned. Then we have reference section, the section where reference materials such as encyclopedias, dictionaries, and almanacs are stored. These materials are typically not available for checkout. Then periodical section, this section contains journals, magazines, and newspapers. Then we have stacks or bookshelves, the area where most of the library's books and other resources are shelved. We have computer section. It's an area with computers available for research, internet access, and printing. Then we have study rooms, quiet areas for individual or group study. Then special collections or archives. It's a section dedicated to rare or special materials, including historical documents, manuscripts, and thesis collections. Then we'll move on to the fifth objective, which is to look at the types of library. There are various types of libraries, and each serves a specific purpose based on the audience and the materials they house. So the main types of libraries include, first one we have public, second we have academic, the third one we have special, fourth one we have school, fifth one we have digital. So we'll take them one after the other. Public libraries serve the general public, providing access to books, periodicals, and other resources for free or at a nominal cost. Now, what's the purpose? Serves the entire community with no restrictions based on profession. Example, local libraries in towns and cities. We have the academic libraries that serve the students, faculty, and staff of a specific academic institution, such as a university or college. And what's the purpose? Support the curriculum and academic research of students and faculty. Then example, we have university libraries with specialized collections on subjects like nursing, medicine, and more. Then special libraries serve specific industries, professions, or organizations, housing specialized collection. And what's the purpose of these special libraries? Provide information on specific fields or industries. Example, we have medical libraries, law libraries, corporate libraries, or government libraries. And we have school libraries. School libraries in primary and secondary schools support the educational curriculum and provide reading materials for students. And what's the purpose? It aids in the education of younger students and provide space for independent reading and study. Example, libraries in high schools or middle schools. Then we have digital libraries. Digital libraries store digital content such as ebooks, online journals, and databases, making them accessible online. What's the purpose? Provide easy remote access to a wide range of information and resources. Example, online databases like JSTOR, Google Scholar, or ebook platforms. So take note of this. Take note of the practical sections you will be taught. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like our videos, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and see you in our next video.
The Career Pathway Channel, guiding nurses to success.